North American P-51 Mustang was a single-seat, long-range fighter airplane that entered the Allied Air Forces during the second half of the World War II. This legendary aircraft proved to be one of the best fighters from the World War II era, and some countries kept it in service right until the 80s. P-51 Mustang was used mainly as a bomber escort in the raids over the Nazi Germany, contributing to establish and to maintain the Allied air superiority. It also took part in the air combats against the Japanese air forces during the Pacific War. It saw action even in the Korean War as the main fighter for the Air Forces, before being replaced by the jet fighters and used as a ground attack aircraft. North American P-51 Mustang. Brief history. Shortly after the World War II started, the Royal Air Force officials prospected the U.S. aircraft industry for airplanes that should have solved the severe shortage of fighter aircraft the British Army was dealing with during the Battle of Britain. The only American fighter that suited the British needs was the P-40, but the Curtiss-Wright Corporation that produced this aircraft had a limited production order. Consequently, the British got in touch with the North American Aviation Company, from which they had bought the North American T-6 Texan training airplane before. In the end, the company undertook to deliver a prototype in 4 months. The contract between the RAF and the North American Aviation was signed on 23 May 1940 and comprised an order for 320 fighter aircraft. The main role for the P-51 Mustang as a fighter in the USAF service was to escort the B-17 bomber squadrons used by the 8th and the 9th Armies. At first, the bombers were sent over Germany without any escort. Because of the heavy losses, these operations had to be cancelled eventually. Only after a new long-range fighter was developed, these missions were resumed, and this new fighter was the North American P-51 Mustang. From 1944, the P-51 Mustang pilots were assigned new tasks, in addition to escorting bombers. On the day of 15th April 1944, the USAF started the jackpot operation that consisted of intense attacks over the Luftwaffe airfields. Few weeks later, on 21st May, new targets were added. Railways, locomotives and rolling stock, used by Germans to transport troops and equipment. This was the Chattanooga operation. The USAF superiority in numbers, the great performances of the P-51 Mustang and the highly skilled pilots gave the death blow to the Luftwaffe. Reichsmarschall Hermann Göring, the Luftwaffe commander, commented, "When we saw the Mustangs flying over Berlin, we knew everything was lost." When the war in Europe ended, on 8 May 1945, the USAF squadrons, equipped with P-51 Mustang, reported a number of 4.950 enemy aircraft shot down in the air and 4.131 destroyed on the ground.